Hello, everybody. Hi. Um, okay, it's going to be a little bit of a mess up for this Sunday and for the next live. Hi, Alessio. Hi, Donna. Hi, Chris. Hi, Zenta. If you see, I changed a little bit something. I said that we were going to finish the cane from last time, but then I announced for today, excuse me, a St. Patrick's Day cane. Hi, Sharon, Susan, Robbie. And I know I didn't put up the texts. I'll put it up if we get any people not behaving. Excuse me. But let me tell you what's happening. Remember that we have a moderator. The second moderator will not be in today because she has a family event, and obviously. But then don't forget to give me the thumbs up. But what is happening? I have decided, and I'm going to be very, very honest with you. I have decided that I do need some time off. Because I've been trying and drudging and trying and drudging, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm feeling tired all the time, and I don't get anything done. And except for a day or two here and there, since I opened the channel, I didn't take any break. Practically, I just kept trudging on. And do you remember that I am disabled? I'm the real deal disabled. I'm not, faking it or anything. So sometimes it gets really hard for me because I had all those issues last year, with the cataracts and then with the frozen shoulder. And it just kept getting harder and harder to catch up. And now I find myself, I'm working on, I wake up, I feed the babies, I clean the kitchen, then I have to lay down for a little bit because my back muscles are already starting to hurt. And within 10 minutes, I'm ready to fall asleep. I'm already tired. But I pull myself up, and I keep doing something for like 15-20 minutes, and then I'm tired again and I need to lay down. So I don't get anywhere. And the other problem is that I started messing up. I mean, it happened like 5 or 6 times already. I was working on something, and right in the very last stages, because I was so tired and because my hands weren't working, I messed up. So I'm going to take, I don't know if it's gonna be 12 days or 2 weeks of break. And in this time, I am not going to do a live on Sunday, but what I will be doing, I will be making public one of the older sponsor lives, and it will be just, regular. You won't be probably able to chat. I'm gonna have to make an experiment because I'm not sure how the already taped lives go, if it still lets you chat or not. But anyway, it's not like you're going to go without something going on. But I really, really, really need to take time off. And the 29th of February, I'm going to kind of put together. Yeah. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Isabel. Hi, Gayleen. Hi, Sunny Lion. Hi, Donna. So the 29th is a Saturday. So I'm going to do kind of push together, instead of having the first Saturday of March alive, I'm going to have on the 29th what would be the March live, first Saturday of the month, but also finish those canes we did last time. So I don't know if there's going to be anything else posted, but theoretically count on me being off between the 1st and the 15th of March. I'll probably jump online on the 12th when it's my birthday, just to celebrate it with you and to have a little bit of a chat. And I have Finnegan always follows me. Wherever I am, he follows me. Yes, baby? He needs to be there. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Cindy. And so that is it. And I am sorry, but I really need some time off because it's gonna be almost 3 years since I started the channel, and I have so much stuff to catch up on with the house and then with the website, and I'm just getting too tired to do anything. And if I keep going like this, I'm not gonna be able to do anything real soon. So I need time off. Sorry. So let's go into the St. Patrick's Day and Shamrock canes. And I think I said that because I know that I did a Shamrock cane. Not sure if it was last year or 2 years ago. No, it couldn't have been. It could have been 2 years ago. I think it might have been 2 years ago on a live. And as I said then, the whole idea of Shamrock, if you want to be very strict, really strict. Number one, the St. Patrick's Day Shamrock is never four-leafed, because the legend says that St. Patrick actually used the clover to explain the Trinity. So it has to have 3 leaves. The other thing is that there is no official shamrock plant. And there were experiments done by researchers, asking people from all over Ireland to send, thank you, Dana, to send them what they consider to be shamrock. And they got all kinds of different varieties of a real clover and a oxalis. Now, some of the that one is trifolium and the other one is oxalis, and I actually opened the page already to show you the differences. So let's go there so I can show you. The regular white clover is this one, and you're gonna find all kinds of websites that tell you, oh no, this is the real shamrock. And no, there is no such thing as the real shamrock. This is the most common white clover, and then the other one most common known as the shamrock is this, which is actually a water, I forgot the exact name of it, but it's a water, the Trifolium repens. But these are the 3 types of plants that are considered that are used as shamrock examples. And I thought that for this specific, I'm going to try and make 2 canes actually. One with the Iron Cross oxalis, and the Iron Cross oxalis is this one, the one with the purplish burgundish thing. I actually grow some in my garden, this one, and the flower is pink. It doesn't look at all like the actual clover flower. And by the way, if you want to grow some, it comes in all kinds of beautiful varieties, like the purple here, and it's beautiful. Another thing to keep in mind is that the actual clover, let me get this back to the normal thing. The actual clover is something that is awesome in your garden because it's practically a legume, and it enriches your soil with nitrogen. It releases nitrogen, and it is very good for rabbits and for cattle and for sheep and goats to graze on it, while the oxalis is poisonous. It's not a good idea to have that around the house where you might have something that might graze on it. But it is beautiful, and as I said, I have 2 patches of Iron Cross oxalis out in the front yard. They were in the backyard. Unfortunately, I don't have any photo of the leaf. I will post later On the Facebook page, I will share one of the photos in my garden albums on my private Facebook. Because if you're friends with me on Facebook, you know that every year I have a garden album with everything, and you can see how I used to have a whole bunch of stuff, and I used to have a beautiful cottage garden, and then it started, as I wasn't able to do much stuff. But essentially, let's see what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do first the iron cross oxalis because it's a little bit more, showy. And then I am going to try and do the iron cross oxalis will be more on the beginner side. But then the other one, and I'm going to try and be up and at it to finish that one too. I'm going to try and get a more realistic clover leaf so that you can use it also if you want to make 3D, with the leaves, brooches. So for the iron cross oxalis, I have prepared here, this is a mix of 3 clays. And in order to measure, to get this specific mix, get all your clay on the same setting. I usually put it on the thicker setting on the pasta machine, and then use the same cutter to cut. I prefer to use this 1.5 inch side square cutter to measure all my mixes, and this is when I give you recipes, this is how you do it. But essentially it is 2 parts. So it would be 2 squares. Here it was just 1 square because my clay was on 2, was folded in 2, of the green pearl. Then, hold on. Oh, I put all of it. No, I didn't. I didn't put all of it. Then it is 1 part olive. And then 2 parts regular green, and you will get this specific color. Now for this one as well as for the other one, I know that there's a plethora of Clover and St. Patrick's Day canes on YouTube and in other social media, and sharing and the leaves are either wrapped in white or in translucent. Well, I can tell you something, that you don't have to wrap them in translucent or in white. If you want to get something that will look classier, your best bet is to, and I personally prefer this. It is a holographic gold glitter, and you can find it at the American Body Art. If you remember, close to 3 years ago, I made a review on their mica powders and their glitters. You pay 99 cents for a bag like this. They have absolutely beautiful mica powders and glitters, and they also have something that's called a sparkler, that the size is something between mica powder grain and glitter grain, but they have cosmetic grade stuff, so it's very, very fine and very good quality. So what I suggest is to mix some of this holographic glitter in black and use that to wrap. It will look very, very classy, and then you can just put, a square or round, however you decide to reduce your cane as, and then, you just cut slices, and then you put them on to make earrings or a pendant, and then just grab some gold wax and gently rub the sides. And it will look absolutely classy and beautiful. And Finnegan's trying to eat my pants. What you doing there? Let me see if I can show him to you. If there's enough light, which there isn't. He's there. He's trying to eat my pants. Hold on, I'm gonna grab him so. And he has grown a lot. And we were at the veterinarian last week to get an assessment so he can get neutered. He's scheduled for the 7th of April to lose his tiny balls. He's still very tiny, but and he's a little he's a little pest, yes, but he's still tiny and beautiful, and he pesters everybody. Yes, what? He's seeing the video, he's seeing himself, and he's finding it very interesting. Yes, baby? Okay. All right, so let's get to making these. I'm sorry there wasn't enough light for you to see what he was trying to do to my pants. He was trying to pull my feet towards him. Okay, so whenever one of the tricks, and as I said, there are so many tutorials that I have started and I didn't ever manage to finish them because of my fatigue. One of the things, whenever you try to mix a darker and a lighter color, always put less of the darker color, because it's much stronger than the lighter color and it's going to interfere quite a bit. So in the case of the oxalis, of the Iron Cross oxalis, we don't actually want to obtain a perfect because we're going to have to do an ikat cane, and we don't want to obtain a perfect gradient, more like a line one, because as stuff will go one on top of the other, we want to see that fine zigzaggy thing. So I am going to, and here I have 2 parts of alizarin crimson. So I'm going to pretty much put it together. You know that I'm very unorthodox when it comes to making Skinner blends, so I'm practically just getting it like this. And of course you need to thin it out so you can put it in the pasta machine without, and see here I don't like this. I'm going to scoop this out and put it here because it came a little bit too much in the, I don't want it to be this much. Yeah, he's at my feet. Okay, I'm going to mute this so that I can get on the machine and show you how to do this. Just a second. And I'm going to mute the microphone so you won't have to endure all the noise. I swear I am less and less happy with the makings my old motor died, and I ordered a new one, and it just feels, first of all, I had issues with it not fitting on the pins. I had to remove the washer, the rubber washer that was there. I'm going to get rid of this completely. Okay, what are you doing? I removed the wrong one. And now I can hear that it kind of catches a gear. So I'm not super happy about the makings. I'm Finnegan. Ow! Stop that. He wants attention. He wants attention, and I cannot close the door to the clay room because my house was the way that they built the ducts for the central heating and cooling is that you can, if you close the doors to the bedrooms, because the playroom is my second bedroom, if you close the doors to the bedrooms, you can set the thermostat to like 60 in winter, but in the bedrooms it would go up to like 72. So if I close the door in here and it gets cooler in the rest of the house and the thermostat kicks in, I'm gonna get baked. It's not good for the clay, and it's not good for my computer either. Okay, so I am pretty much done with this, and I'm actually going to remove even more because I don't want this much. So let's go with just one part of the alizarin crimson. I think it's better. Okay, now let me get this and stack it so I get more even ends. And then I'm going to get it through the machine on thinner and thinner settings. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is to cut and stack. And this is kind of the most time consuming. And I'm going to make 3 different stacks, and I'll explain to you why I'm making 3 different stacks. And place it kinda respecting the line, but you don't have to sweat much about it. And why I'm making 3 different stacks is because I don't want any kind of mirroring. If I would make the same stack and just keep cutting it in 2 and stacking it, then I would get the same pattern repeated, and I want to avoid that because that's not what happens in nature on the oxali sleeve, right? So you just need a little bit more patience for a better result. So I'm gonna stop here with this stack and then make 2 more stacks. And you don't just be kinda equal. And don't worry, all these little lines, they will not be noticeable once you do the proper. Yeah, I got some felt dots, and I need to put them in there. I just didn't get around to do that. Finnegan sleeping under the bed, under the table, finally. Yeah, and I have so many things I need to bring out. I've been working on so many things, and I just don't seem to be able to, you know, to get there. Because I'm also still fighting with the, apparently my thyroid dipped again, because of course it had to take it over 10 years to react to the, I was severely hyperthyroid, for people who don't know. Back in the day, right before I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I had to have a radioactive iodine ablation because my thyroid was overactive, and I went through 2 thyroid storms. I almost died, you know. And because it was grown all around my vocal box, the danger of me losing my voice if they were going to do surgery to remove it was too high. So they did the radioactive iodine, because thyroid, when you get iodine, thyroid pretty much is the one that it goes to. That's why in case of nuclear disaster, they make you take iodine pills, because if your thyroid is already engorged with iodine, it will not hold on to more. But anyway, normally my thyroid should have died within less than a year, but it didn't. It's within 2 or 3 years it got back to normal. And then 2 years ago, when you first started hearing me complaining about fatigue, it finally went below, but just barely. And because doctors usually don't stop to think, oh yeah, this woman has been hyperthyroid all her life, and even if her levels are barely noticeable below level, it might not be the right thing for her. So finally, I saw a good endocrinologist. They put me on thyroid meds, and for a couple months it went better. But I guess now I dipped even more, and they have to, and you know, it takes a few months before they figure out if they got the right dosage. So I'm fighting that too. So yeah, it's not that why I'm whining, honestly, I'm gonna be very, very honest with you. Number one, it affects my creativity, because if I'm permanently frustrated and tired and unable to do that, I'm getting frustrated because I have all these things in my mind, and then I cannot get around to do them, if that makes sense. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut these in 2, but take random pieces from them to put them one on top of the other. And it's exceptionally frustrating. The other thing is that, because you'll tell me, why do you even get up? If you're tired, you're tired. Just sit there where you are and don't mind everything else. Well, unfortunately, I was cursed with workaholism and with the pathological, actually, sense of guilt if I don't do what I promised to do. So if I know that I have to do something, I cannot rest, I cannot take my mind off it until I actually do it. It's really, really bad. So it just adds to the whole, you know, being frustrated. Okay, so now we got this. See how it's so much prettier? And very, very gently, we are going to start pushing it together. Of course, we can get rid of this, all these raggedy edges. Don't throw them away because we are going to use them. And then all the raggedy edges on the alizarin crimson part. But see how I am holding it against the tile, because that's going to help me keep the level. And don't let it go too wide either. So what I want to do is to make this into a smaller thing. Bonsoir Elisabeth. Ce soir où est-ce que tu es, n'est-ce pas? And I have some, as I said, I've been gathering all kinds of stuff that I want to do things with. And I just didn't get around to do it. And it's severely, severely, severely upsetting. Just to show you something, I've been working on more, because I know all of you liked my faux labradorite, and I'm actually working with several other techniques to make faux labradorite effect, and not just labradorite but also spectrolite. And this is now I know I still have to do the final thing. Then don't mind the yellowish, because that was to figure out something. But this is my latest experiment. Now the next one should look just fine. I just know that I need to make the effect a little bit more subdued so that you see it only when you actually look at it. But this should come after I'm taking my break. And as I said, there are several techniques and I want to show them to you all, because I thought the tutorial is made, might be 3 tutorials actually, for a beginner, intermediate and advanced. And again, I am behind on the website. I have so many things to take photos of and then post them. Then I need to bring up some modules. And then I got another thing that I started. I got everything ready to start, but I never got around to actually start it. Okay, at this point, I'm going to just keep going to reduce it more. But at this point, once I get it to reduce quite a bit, I want to start reducing it more on the width so that it will be a little bit longer. But this is pretty much the length that I want. So I'm going to do it, not allow it to get wider than this, but I'm going to focus mostly on this side to make it smaller. As I said, just a little bit on the other side, but essentially focusing on this side. Oh yeah, and Holly, the thing with Finnegan is that he knows he's pretty, okay? So he will always post to me like he does something that he knows he shouldn't be doing. And I would go, Finnegan, and he's doing something and he goes, he just throws his little head on backwards and looks at me like, oh, I'm so pretty, you're gonna forgive everything I do. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. And he gets away with it, Yeah, my nails, I just noticed that I didn't have time to do them. And I washed dishes and I cleaned some stuff, so it started peeling. And see, I have some acrylic. And for the ones of you who keep asking what am I using, because this is another one of the holographic, let me go in because I remind you that I made a section of my influencer store just with the nail polishes that I'm using. And these specific nail polishes, and let me just link directly to the nail polishes, are from a series from the brand Color Club, and they have a holographic a series. Let's see if it's going to allow me. Yeah, it does. If you scroll, it's not on the first are the magnetic nail polishes. Let me actually show them to you. There we go. So it's these, the Color Clubs. These are, I got most of the series. These two are also very pretty, but the holographic thing is not so strong. And I didn't add the green. I need to add this green. I promise I will add it after the live. But whenever you see me with holographic nails, this is what I've been using. And as metallics, I fully recommend you these. And they last for a long time. Chameleons, the sinful colors work great, and then some of the China glazes. And I always use, I'm gonna be very honest with you, I always use, there's a LA Color varnish, it's called Diamond Top Coat. And that is what I'm using. I'm getting it from Family Dollar, and it's $2 a bottle, but it's the best top coat that I've ever gotten. All right, so now at this point I'm going to start making it into a triangle-y thing. And as I said, remember that we still have these. And remember, you saw me cutting just one of the piles was a little bit wider, and I cut a little bit of it. So at this point, we start gently pinching the alizarin crimson side. And you might have to get rid of more of it. It depends on how, because what you want about 1/3 to be like this and 2/3 to be the green. So if need be, get rid of some more of the alizarin crimson part. Mop the floor. Yeah, they do. Remember, there are those videos where you can see somebody mopping the floor and then the cat grabbing on the mop and enjoying being dragged around. Seamus and Connor are like that. I don't know yet about Finnegan, but I presume that he's going to like it. I didn't use the big mop yet in the kitchen with Finnegan being around, so we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna go even more or less of this. And because the alizarin crimson is so strong, I can use it for other stuff. So yeah, just to tell you what I missed, I fully intended to have for a new mother of pearl tutorial before Valentine's Day to show you how to make a jewelry box with it for Valentine's. That was I have a whole bunch of chameleon powders and other stuff to show you. I finally got enough. See, I'm gently rounding these up. I finally got several brands of varnishes and several brands of this and several brands of that, so I can do comparisons, review comparisons, and I didn't get around to do that. So it's not because of laziness, it's just because I cannot do it. I am so darn tired, I cannot do it. Okay, so at this point we have Don't go to be really too teardropish, but it has to be kind of teardropish. And one side has to be more rounded than the other. And that is the side that's going to be on the edge of the leaf. The one that is less rounded is going to be on the inside of the leaf. So at this point, I'm going to grab all my, I'm going to make just a pinch darker green than I have here. Give me just a minute. Okay, thank you, Elaine. No, I did. I did. I take 5,000 units of vitamin D a day because I have some issues with metabolizing it. So it's not the vitamin D. I need to keep my vitamin D levels between 60 and 65. So no, it's just the regular fatigue side effect that I got since I had chemo that lasted well past chemo, and then also brought in by thyroid issues. Okay, so I cut this in half, and remember, one side is a little bit rounder than the other side, and the one that's less round is going to go in here. And at this point, I am going to place some of this mix, and you don't have to be perfect with mixing, because it's not going to show. I told you a lot of things that you might be fussing over when making canes. It's useless to fuss over, because once you actually make the cane and start reducing it, it will never show. Okay, so just put it together nicely. I didn't cut it properly here. Because you don't want it to come over this little V thing. Come on, get out. And there we go. And me having low, I had low vitamin D because of the thyroid thing, and that might have contributed to getting breast cancer, because there is a direct correlation between the vitamin D level and your risk of getting breast cancer. Alrighty, now I'm going to actually do this in white because I think it might pop up in white better. But one thing that I'm going to do with it, because I want it to show better, watch this. Okay, I'm going to get some olive, and then I'm going to get a little piece of the wasabi. And get on the thinnest setting that I can go with them. to, sorry, I said, I forgot. Thank you, Elaine. So I got a little bit of olive and a little bit of wasabi, and just to make it, you'll see how it's going to pop up when I put the cane together. It's on the thinnest setting possible, and I'm putting one on one side and the other one on the other side of the leaf. You'll see in a second why. I have a gamer chair because those are the best for extended periods of time, and I also have one of those massage chair covers. So again, I'm going to start from here because it makes it much easier to cut the end. Alright, and at this point I'm pretty good to go. I'm going to cut to trim this off, so I don't really mind that my I grabbed a near bubble here, that my wrap doesn't go very well all the way to the end, because I'm going to slice off this here in a little bit. But this one I'm going to actually put it in white. Okay, so let me grab the white. And again, I don't know what's been going on. See, I like Premo as the workhorse of everything. My problem with Premo is that it's not very consistent, and a lot of times you get the the whites and the blacks really messed up. Okay, not good. Forgot to turn it. And I didn't go too many times with it, and don't worry about, again, as I said, about the little contaminations, because they won't show once you're done with everything. So let's get the width. And then I'm going to get these through the machine again once I finish setting them. So my first thing is to cover up the little V in here, and for that, yeah, I don't know, it might be your device or it might be YouTube. YouTube has started being very shitty lately. Okay, so I'm going to do a 45 degrees angle cut at the end of this, and it's advisable to make it straight, not slanted. So because I have this like this, I'm going to be able to gently get it in here, and then I'm going to go to the end here, not past it, if you want your cane to be really well done. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the next one. Again, a 45 degrees angle, and this time I'm going to go on the other side, and again stop here. And now I need a little bit more here, so again cut a, but this time I'm not going to go around at all. I'm going to cut it, and it's already cut at an angle, so I don't have to worry about the other side. And the same thing, cut it. And I was talking about the white and the black because I don't know, the last 3 or 4 months I got yeah, the white translucent too crumbly, the black and the white too soft, and apparently leaching doesn't really help much, so it's really irritating. And now I'm going to use some of this. See, I'm cutting pieces smaller and smaller. To make a perfect square, your best bet is to simply overfill, and then it's much easier to just cut. So I'm placing this here to give me an idea. Might not make it this wide, but just for now. Let me grab this. And I'm going to do the same thing. One wider and two smaller. And then I'm gonna come from here to here, cut. 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 And get this through the machine again. And I can already see that this is going to be too wide, so I can grab these from here and get everything through the machine. I should have enough here. And I just keep creating my square, and as you can see, as I'm going down, it starts being too much, so I'm going to remove some of that at one point, and again a little bit of here. This. And then I'll figure out if I have too much again. It presents problems when you try to do canes. Maggie, sorry. So at this point I have still this too much, so I'm gonna go on a straight cut down. Here seems to be okay, so I still need to put something here. I'm trying not to condition too much the white. let's get one on the very top. And it's going to need another one on the very top. It doesn't look too straight, but that's because I didn't cut it yet. And I still need to cut a little bit off here. And now, in order to be able to go, remember that we do have 3. I know, that's another problem. So, if I would want to go with this like this, if I condition it, if I reduce it, I won't be able to put it in 3 because it is square, right? So my next move at this point, I just wanted to make sure that it's going to be perfect this way. So my next move it's going to actually be this. I just got my triangle line. And again, I don't need all of this here. And going through the machine again. And I'm showing you so many steps because it's the easiest way to get a perfect shape that will be easy to... Wrong machine. So once again, cut strips. And this time I'm going to continue it to the side, 45-degree angle, side, 45-degree angle, until you create a good triangle here. And one more. Oops, the other side. Yes, they are. They are a super pain. All right. So this would be pretty much my triangle to reduce, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. So I went like this directly against the, and I will continue the triangle on this side. If you feel confident that you can do a triangle really good without having to go first in a square, please do so. But I thought that to show you how to do it so that you won't have issues creating the shape. And again, just keep, you cut one straight, but then for the next placement, give it a 45 degrees angle. And we got some rain today, so it's not... I don't know if I answered you, Elaine. I did take the pill right before. starting the live, so I should be good. Okay, and now we have just a little bit here. Remember that we still have some of this, so I'm going to cut just one little sliver. Because I forgot to put it there. I mean, it's my... This needs to be put before you put these together. And then add just, you just need to add just a pinch on the sides to make it perfectly triangular. Make sure that it's well put together, pressed together before starting anything else. And then trim, refine the trim, the shape by trimming, so you get a good triangle. So at this point I'm going to reduce this, and then the fourth one will be with just the stem. If you don't want to do the stem, then you'll have to do this, reduce it in 4 and just put the cut in 4 and put the fourth together if you want to do a 4-leaf clover. So remember, to reduce a triangle, press on the top, don't press on the edges here. And this white is horrible. I'm trying different methods in the hopes that it won't deform too much. So press from above, because otherwise you'll get bowed in sides of your triangle. And press from above and then pull a little bit, because the edges on triangular as well as on square canes, the edges have the tendency to kind of stay behind. And at this point I'm going to pretty much pull, because of the white. It's, and I didn't dare to use the black because black is just as bad as the white. And I tried leaching. I mean, the one that was in this bag was leached, and doesn't seem to matter much, because if you can leach it to the point that it's crumbly, and it will still become soft after you work it for a while. Why I'm not doing the fourth one yet? Because I have to first see what will be the size of it. Okay, I'm trying to. No, Premo generally there's not a lot of trouble It's just with these these three have problems. And sometimes the white pearl. I happen to have very soft white pearl, but generally it's the black, the white, and the translucent. There was like 2 years ago, there was again the super crumbly, super dry translucent, and not only that, but it was a batch of regular translucent that was whiter than the white translucent. Okay, some more. It still gets quite deformed. Sorry. You know that I normally reduce very nicely, but with this wrapping it's not that good of a job. Now for the third one, I'll show you how to do the leaf. I'm not going to go to a wrap. You can wrap it exactly like I'm showing this one. I'm not going to be up for the wrapping as well. So let's see, I got 3.5. If I do 4, I'm calculating. Yeah, I got 9 centimeters, so I'm gonna go by the centimeters instead of the inches. I always do this. Depends which of them is more closer to what I need. So never cut like this. Never measure and cut like this. Always measure and cut like this, because if you measure and cut like this, unless you're right on top of it looking from above, it's going to be hard to make sure that you measure right. But if you cut on a vertical, it's going to be much easier to determine that you're cutting properly. Okay, so we got this. Now let's create, let me see, do I have enough? I need a little bit more white. Just a second. Sorry, sweet pea. I'm sorry. He was laying on my feet and I bothered him. Now he's sulking in the hole. What is it, baby? He's sulking in the hole. What is it, sweet pea? I don't think you can see him. I didn't get this too bright, because working with white, you know what happens when there's too much light and you work white. Okay, this is too thick. Alrighty. This should be enough. So Premo is not really my favorite. My number one favorite is Pardo, but there are some, like the opaline and the translucents and metallics of Cernet are also a favorite. On the other machine, I don't turn off the microphone because it's much further from the microphone than this one. Alright, so hey. let's grab some more of this green, and I can actually mix it with a bit of this, what I cut from the end of the alizarin crimson piece. I'm gonna just put them together like this. So you want to put it on to be more alizarinish on one side and less alizarinish on the other side, but it needs to be much wider. I messed up. Oy. Okay, so olive, alizarin crimson from the leftovers, here like this. I cut it wrong. I'm starting to get tired. When I start making mistakes means I'm starting to get tired. Alright, so this one. So these have to be pretty much this long and this wide. So the same thing here. Place the olive on top of the alizarin. And then gently pinch one of the ends. It's going to get much longer, but it's okay. You can cut the ends. It has to be just one bit longer than this distance. And why one bit longer than this distance? Because what we are going to do, cut one piece with a double 45-degree angle. So one on this side and one on this side. And then place it right under so that you'll get something like this. That will make your your leaf stem get a little bit slanted. I want to bring it all the way in here. More pinchy like. And then just build a triangle. Don't even have to be very, specific at this point because you can remember you can always trim. So it's okay because we can trim and then rebuild. That's why always whenever I have to fill, I overfill and then I can trim to the, well, it depends on what I'm trying to do, because if I try to do a cane that's more precise lines, I'm going to use Fimo Professional. If I'm trying to do a faux stone, I'll always prefer Pardo or even Cernit. If I'm trying to do, let's say, a flower, then the Cernit Opaline is the best to use. So it depends on what I'm trying to do, really. Some clays are better for some things, some clays are better for other things. Premo is pretty much, if you didn't watch, check in the beginner section on my playlist on the channel. I have a video about which clay to pick, depending on what you want to do. Okay. So just a little bit more. I might have to reduce it, but that's fine. I don't mind to bring it to the same level as the other ones. Let's just give it this here. Let's create a triangle. This has to be smaller. And I went too much. Oh well. As I said, I'm starting to get tired and I'm rushing it. I might not be able to show you the other one. And see, that's the other thing, because of the tiredness, I started skipping on my exercises, and I started feeling that in my back muscles, because they start again not being able to compensate for the lack of the latissimus dorsi. At this point, actually, Pardo and Cernit are quite equal. Before, the Pardo was the best, but now Cernit is quite good itself. So you can get any of them. I get my Cernit from the clay factory, Marie Segal's clay factory, and they are awesome with the delivery and the promptness and shipping and everything. I never had a problem. Okay, so these need to be at a 90 degrees angle. Where's my... Okay, so let's gently bring these to a 90 degrees angle. And you do that by, you hold this like this, and then you gently push, but make sure that you flip it. You don't try to work just one side, because it distorts the cane. I didn't realize I had made it at 60 degrees, like for a kaleidoscope. So just bring it over, push it against the, or you can use a mirror tile or whatever is more yes, I get my Pardo from PolyClay Play, and whatever Trish doesn't have, I order from Badley Crafts in the UK. They have a pretty decent shipping, and they have a lot of, pretty much all the colors of Pardo. managed to mess it up, to squish it. But see how the white gets so darn squishy. Okay, now we can go ahead and do the full clover. The stem should have been a little bit thinner. Oh well. I think it's under the video on everything. It's, you see, thumbs, not like buttons. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Okay, it didn't distort too much, but this definitely needs to be thinner. But anyway, you can see the leaves, they come up, and it's very hard to perceive actually, but the fact that I did one light color and one darker color, it makes the leaves pop up. So pretty much once you're done with this, you can do all kinds of things. Yeah, the stem came up horrible, but at least I was able to show you how to do it. Okay, I guess I'm gonna leave the other one. When is St. Patrick's? On the 14th, right? 14th of March. Am I right or not? No, 17. Oh, I have time to show you the other one. I have time to show you the other one. As I said, I'll probably come online on the 12th of March to celebrate my birthday with you. And we'll do then the other clover. Because there are still 5 days from the 12th to the 17th. Or I can do it on the 29th and then we can do the cane that I started after my break. It's up to you. Let me know. Let me know in comments underneath here if you'd like on the 29th to do the other cane or to do the other clover. It's going to be at Saturday 29th at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. But yeah, pretty much this is it. So don't make the stem thinner than this, and don't use a better white. I don't know what to tell you. The best thing is to use Fimo for this kind of stuff. I get the Pardo from PolyClay. I didn't even know that RJ Crafts had Pardo. And whatever PolyClay doesn't have, I get from a store in the UK called Budley Crafts. But let me see, let me give you the link. Because there's not a lot of choice of colors in the US with with Pardo, unfortunately. Hold on a second. Let me get to the Pardo thing here to give you the okay. is the art and mica clay. Cernit is from clayfactory.net. And Pardo transparent, which I think Trish still has, if I'm not mistaken. But this is the store in the UK. And then the Pardo jewelry. And yes, she even has platinum and mother of pearl. So yeah, you'll love the Art Alchemy waxes. Okay, I'm gonna go lay down because I'm not, my back started killing me, and I'm sure that, I told you it's raining, so I have a combination of back muscle spasms and scar tissue starting to. So I shall see you all on the 29th, 9:30 in the morning, and then, as I said, I'll schedule some former sponsor things for a couple weeks, which will be up only for those times. After that, they'll go away. They'll be again unlisted. So make sure you're up. I'm gonna leave them up for like 2 days, and then they'll go away. That is it. So I'll see you Saturday, and then I'm taking a vacation. Thank you so much for understanding. I hope so. I hope so. Thank you. Have a great Sunday, what's left of it, and see you Saturday. Goodbye.